Before I put this up back together, I want to do some detailing on the cabinet. Now I'm running low on Novus number 2, so I've switched over to using Brasso, and I've also tried using Scratch Out. Basically any fine abrasive will work fine. So I'll do a few passes with the Brasso. See, it's taking off a thin layer of material, so hopefully I can get down to some shinier, nicer looking Bakelite, and then I will go over it with Novus number 2 after a couple passes with this, and then I want to move on to those grungy knobs and see what I can do with them. I finished up with the Brasso, now I'm switching back to the Novus. Definitely got to order some more up. Should have enough left to finish the cabinet. After another pass of this, I'm actually going to switch to Simichrome. Happen to have a bunch of it. I bought a can a while back. It's a really fine abrasive. Really meant for polishing metal. But I thought it looks quite well on this. Sides won't be as bad in front because they weren't quite as abused as the top. A few flecks of white latex paint. Just seems inevitable. Every piece of Bakelite I've ever gotten has had flecks of paint on it, but they come right off while you're buffing it with Novus. Alright, let that dry to a haze and then buff it out. But the camera's having trouble focusing on this. That's a good sign. That means it's getting real shiny. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Definitely looks really nice in this area. Some really nifty green and waves in it. Towards the front, it's just kind of more of a plain brown on this front edge. Alright, so now the Simichrome. I haven't opened this can in a while, so I'm sure it's all separated. It's like a really light oil, and then this super fine pink abrasive. And I'm going to go get a clean rag. Don't want to mix, don't want to reuse some of these rags that have coarser abrasive on it. That would kind of defeat the purpose. Here we go. It does take some muscle with this. I think the results are worth it. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm done with buffing out the top. Now I'm going to do a little work on the front, so I'm going to take this bezel out to make it a little easier. It'll also give me a chance to see if that gold bezel would even fit in here.
Perfectly clear. This is a prototype, a real advance, I'm told. They call it the H100. I will not wear a hearing aid. An entirely new technology. The research lab needs someone to field test it. Who knows? You might be written up in the scientific journals. I don't want that kind of publicity. You're the perfect subject. Be honest with yourself this once. Anyone else would have heard that buzz. It came out of nowhere. With 100 decibel horn blasting away? Face it, you have degenerative hearing loss.
Also gives me a chance to get rid of all this crusty orange foam.
No larger than a pencil eraser. An experimental microscope.
So here's what I meant. Piece of clear plexiglass, or whatever, Luxan. Cardboard, and then this flimsy piece of plastic.
Completely invisible once it's in place. It won't fit. Hold still while I insert it in the ear canal. There. Here's a mirror. See for yourself. Even that new husband of yours won't know. From now on, you'll hear every word.
Let's see if this will fit.
Whisper. The two of you will be closer than a kiss. If I give you the once over? I'm glad you're here. Why? I'm positively flattered. I thought you'd never come. Something on your mind? You can always call.
There we go.
Phone away.
A little bit of a gap at the top.
And I'm sure he'll get you a new one.
But yeah, that will certainly work out alright. If you chose to go that way.
Let's check that blood pressure. He wants to put me in the center.
Oh, and I'm going to take it back out and pop off this channel plate cover. And then we'll clean up this bake light.
So you haven't been sleeping. That can make the world seem a very different place.
Now I'm working on that control area, and this time I'm just going straight to the simichrome, because as I was saying, that the sides took nowhere near as much abuse as the top. And yeah, this is, remember I was saying I was hoping to get the rest of the cabinet looking like these original areas here. They were protected by the knobs, and yeah, just one pass with the simichrome, and it's coming out fantastic. As for the recessed lettering, I will eventually rub some white paint into those recesses. Fairly easy to do. Use like some water-based acrylic and just kind of smear it on, and then carefully wipe off the excess, and the paint will remain in the recessed areas. Alright, that turned out better than I ever expected it to. Really in remarkable condition. It's just gleaming. Alright, I'm going to put this aside for a while. Give my arms a rest and switch over to the knobs. Alright, so here's what I've got to work with.
Beauty is as beauty does, and love, like real beauty, never dies. Here,
Huh, it's funny. Looks like when this was originally came out of the mold, there was a bit of plastic left out over. It never got trimmed off. I guess I can take care of that. Otherwise, these two look good. But these guys.
you gotta pay attention to the small things, kid. Small things matter. Small problems become big problems. Take a transformer.
Spider's nest.
Transformer insulation system breaks down. Insulation system breaks down. Copper windings overheat. Copper windings overheat. Transformer blows. Transformer blows. Facility goes dark.
Yeah,
Facility
not bad.
goes dark. Kid,
They all have their springs in there. Although this one, in addition to the spring, there's part of a washer jammed in there.
Granger.com or stop by Granger for the ones who can. The flooring expert.
that's all about.
Square feet of top quality flooring that must be cleared out by end of quarter, March 31st. They've got their lowest price ever on hand scraped bamboo.
Alright, those will clean up. But, oh, I'm soaking some warm soapy water for a while, and then some polishing nose too, but this is what I really wanted to focus on. Well, I've all got the original felt, that's nice. Filthy, but nice to have. So let's see. All of these loose. Yep, all 4 of them. The metal is loose. Well, I'm going to start with the one that's completely come loose, so I can just clean it on its own. And with that brass on down. There we go. Give that a shot. Start out with.
Oh my gosh, I think my water just broke. Can you? Bob Benson, Don Byer, and Tim Cerny. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to download episodes.
This brass is not only abrasive, but I think it's got ammonia in it. Sure smells like it. I think that helps to remove some of the tarnish. So what I like to do is put some on and rub it a little bit, but then just let it sit for a while, rather than just continuously keep rubbing. So we'll come back to that in a few minutes.
Larry, why weren't you and Professor Dicky Doodle's mythical creature going for vacation car? Well, I'm taking Algebra 2 in a foreign language. Oh, so you can talk to unicorns? Not exactly, unless they're French.
He wanted to go to college, so he doesn't know how to go to
In a few minutes, so I'm going to take another whack at it. It's starting to get there.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education, the Winter Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
Safer USA, Chicago's most popular firearm training school, has added Illinois concealed carry to its more than 35 courses. Hi, I'm David Lombardo.
And I'm Gershon Fritz. Whether you're a novice or an experienced shooter, Safer USA has an Illinois concealed carry program to fit your needs with the most up-to-date law review and firearm simulators to fine-tune your shooting technique.
You'll also qualify for Utah, Florida, and Arizona non-resident concealed carry permits recognized in about 30 states.
And Safer USA provides the firearm, holster, range time, class notebook, and even lunch.
For more information, go to saferusa.com or call 815-744-5487. That's 815-744-5487.
And don't forget to listen to On Target Radio every Sunday night.
Every week, we'll cover the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. That's On Target Radio, Sunday nights at 9 p.m.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Most everyone knows the joys of owning their own home, and with that joy comes a list of obligations. From lawn care, decorations, appliance repair, and more, you're probably too busy to stay ahead of it all. Have you ever woken up to this? Or maybe it's more like this. It's time you eliminate these concerns of yours before they begin. Enter Service Express Heating and Air Conditioning. The fact is, whether you have a furnace or AC problem or not, you'd be shocked at the cost of their operation when not properly maintained. Do away with that chance of a 2:30 a.m. wake-up call and that ridiculously high energy bill. With regular maintenance from Service Express Heating and Air Conditioning, call 773-792-9222 or visit MakeMeComfortable.com. Don't wait days for parts or settle for amateur workmanship. Put your trust in screened professionals who respect your time and property. Service Express Heating and Air Conditioning. Service done right and done right away. Call 773-792-9222 or visit MakeMeComfortable.com, a division of Unique Indoor Comfort.
Alarms, alerts, and noises of every nature. They're all around us. So instead of waking up to one of these, wake up with them. John Howell and Amy Jacobson. Morning, starting at 6. Both a pleasure and a privilege to be with you this morning.
You mean it from the heart.
Big part of my morning. Begin your day in a more pleasing way. AM 560, The Answer.
I've got all 4 of them smeared with Brasso now, so I'll let those sit for a while again. 3 of them I was able to pop off the plastic. This one's pretty stubborn, so I'll just leave it on.
A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both.
One down, 3 more to go.
From his forehead and chest. It's all right, Major. Get a stretcher. Medics, over here. Now watch his hand. He cut it on one of the dials inside.
After polishing, I used a little super glue and glued them all back together. So that is done. I'll clean up these felts a little bit and reuse those, which leaves cleaning plastic inner knobs. So occasionally I'll search on eBay for vintage Admiral TV. Not that I really need any more Admiral TVs, but somebody might be selling spare parts, original owner's manuals, service manuals, that kind of thing. Well, a few months back, somebody was selling this exact model in really nice condition for a rather reasonable price. Then I noticed the same thing listed on Video Karma, and hey, it was Sam in Arizona, who I've had some dealings with before. And he listed it and relisted it, and I felt bad because that's a nice model in that condition for that price. I think in other areas that would have gotten snapped up right away, but these things, you just can't ship them. They get destroyed. Well, eventually he did sell it, but the buyer just wanted the cabinet. So he listed just the chassis on Video Karma, and I contacted him and said, hey, I'd love to have that chassis, and you can keep the picture tube, because it's a chance that will get damaged, and I've got enough spares, I don't really need it, but I'd love to have that chassis, because it's in nice condition, and then I won't have to strip off the whole rest of that rust on that one. So that's what ended up happening, and it just showed up today. He basically just gave it to me for free. I just paid the postage, which was a little steep from Arizona, but what can you do? These things are heavy. Now this is a 10-inch set. I want to put it into a 12, so I will need to swap out some parts like this, which is support for the yoke that goes in the neck of the picture tube. Large diameter picture tube. This is probably a little taller than the one that came with this chassis. So it just showed up today. I just took a brief peek inside, and then I figured I'd grab the camera, record the video. So there is the main chassis. I heard a lot of stuff rattling around when I picked up the box, which got me nervous. But when I looked inside, I realized some of the tubes fell out. No big deal. You know, these are bad. They're common enough tubes. But he also gave me a little bonus item. An extra high voltage cage. And I think I might need one of these for one of my other sets. Or rather, I have one that's really rusty. Whereas this one's in good condition. So that was very nice of him. But something else that I was hoping I would get, because I completely forgot to ask him about, which was the speaker. Because I can replace the crap one that was bodged into that set. And oh yes, he did. And it's in fine condition. This is what I was trying to describe, how the speaker comes on this, whatever you want to call it, thick masonite, I guess. So, field coil speaker, output transformer, and then it mounts, I'll show you in a moment, it mounts on some ribs and then it's held in place with this spring steel. Speaker looks like it's in excellent condition, so awesome. So, yeah, win-win all around. Got the speaker, got this chassis, little bit of light surface corrosion maybe, or that might just be some good old Arizona desert dust and sand, I don't know. Actually, yeah, I think that's exactly what I think it is, just dirty. That's not rust at all. Excellent, excellent. Now back to the cabinet. I'm making slow but steady progress. All these grooves on the side, very time consuming. All these recesses, just really catch all the cleaning compounds, polishing compounds. So it's a matter of a lot of elbow grease and toothpicks and whatever to both polish it and then clean out all the nooks and crannies. But I'll get there eventually. It's worth it because this will look stunning when it's done. Now as for that speaker, Here's the grooves I was talking about. So they're actually molded right into the bakelite. And this should fit just like so. Then there should be a screw here and here that this will spring against to hold it in place. And here's another cabinet I've got pulled out. So here's where those screws would go. And here's an original label. And here is what a back would look like. I was a little puzzled at first because there's only 2 screws molded in for the back, nothing at the bottom. So these will screw in at the top like that. This one's a little bit damaged. And then what? It just kind of floats in space. Well, no, the bottom would actually screw into the chassis. So until you put the chassis inside, you can't put the back on. Be nice if I could find another one of these, but that's probably never going to happen. And then again, I've said that before, and things find their way to me, so we'll see.